Comics should smell good. Comics should smell good. Welcome to another episode.
Hey kids, you want to buy some comics?
We've got lots of comics for you. And eyeballs. Eyeballs. Okay, even now I'm getting weirded out. Sometimes it just gets a little weird here. Comics should smell good. No, we don't know where these masks came from.
They kind of just showed up one day.
They did just kind of showed up.
Along with this bowl full of eyeballs, and we've been going with it ever since.
Yes, and the eyeballs come with these sticky, nasty, smelly
eye gunk, you know.
Eye gunk stuff.
It's cosmic eye gunk.
It is cosmic eye gunk. But we'll get to the eyeballs in a minute here. It is Wednesday. And we have lots of comics for you this week. In fact, there were so many Morgan had to put some back.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
It is kind of insane.
And a lot of them were DC books, weirdly enough.
I know. The paychecks that they've been sending us, they've been getting bigger.
It helps.
You know,
it really
so
does help motivate
So, I can swallow some pride here to...
Speaking of DC here, I feel so odd about talking about this book so often, but
you do talk
look
about
at that! A new issue of Batman Superman. This is number 10, actually completely different creative team on this. It's being written by Jeff Lemire and drawn by the team of Carl Kerschel and Scott Hepburn. Carl Kerschel, who I don't really remember the last time he drew a comic for DC.
Teen Titans, dude.
Was that actually the last thing he did?
Yeah, he's getting that Assassin's Creed money.
Man. Oh,
that is some big money.
And Scott Hepburn, of course, of Rogue's Rebellion, Forever Evil. Delivering some really awesome tiny aliens, tiny blue aliens inside Batman's body.
It's the age-old, you know, call up the Atom because there's something wrong inside your body, get really small, get into a cool little ship or a spacesuit or something, and go diving through Batman's veins.
At some point, the Atom ends up inside everybody in the DC universe.
It's kind of unsettling when you think about it.
It really is.
That's actually really unsettling.
It's probably unhealthy.
Yeah, now that you said that, that's really unsettling. New from Image this week, we've got Nailbiter #1, Joshua Williamson, who writes Ghosted, and Mike Henderson, who does art of some nature. I can't even remember what the hell he's been on. But this is cool. This is all about Buckaroo, Oregon, which has given birth to 16 of the vilest serial killers in the world. And so this guy, this cop, FBI profiler, goes to this town to try to find out what it is about the town that makes serial killers, and he finds it, and he calls his kind of suicidal NSA buddy, tells him that he found it, tells him to come to Oregon, and he gets there, and this guy dies. The NSA guy finds that, you know, his buddy's nowhere to be found.
Oh, great.
So, with the idea of this secret looming, they now need professional help, and they come to this man, ex-serial killer. I don't know how you could be
how do you really
ex-serial killer.
Do that?
Nailbiter.
I've distanced myself from
right? I only, you know, chew on my nails, not other people's fingernails. It's got really great moody art. Normally not my thing, not usually big into serial killer stuff, but I like the mood of this one, and it's quite a cool idea. Like, where do serial killers come from? I mean, this could be like a real existential horror, like, deep Lovecraft thing, but it's probably not.
Yeah, no, you're building this huge conspiracy in your
I
head.
am.
It's
I'm lying
awesome
to you.
In the book,
yeah,
but...
I'm just straight up lying to you.
Ooh, speaking of death and mayhem and gore.
This one, yeah.
Wow.
Issue
kind of sad to hear. The final issue for now of Grindhouse. Doors open at midnight. This is part 2 of Flesh Feast of the Devil Doll, which I love saying.
I know. All the names have been awesome. Like, seriously.
Let's just go from the description on the back of the comic. Welcome to Camp Oneida, where girls make friends, learn teamwork, and run for their lives. This thing. Eating girls at camp. Pie fights. Scooters. Decapitation. Do you need more?
From Alex DeCampi, Gary Erskine. Last issue. Again, we're very sad. But hopefully there will be more.
Yes. God willing, the creek don't rise.
That's right. Maybe you people are a little curious about the eyeballs. So, we will send you to our eyeball specialist and professor of Marvel, Mr. Will Harris, who will bring you the secret of the cosmic eyeballs.
And all eyes are on Original Sin #1 this week over at Marvel. This is Marvel's big main event of the summer by the awesome Jason Aaron and Mike Deodato. So you probably heard a lot of the hype, but I want to tell you anyway. I just read this. It was really cool. So the Watcher is an ancient alien. He's been on the moon. He's been watching. He can never interfere. But someone blows up his moon base, kills him and steals his eyes and all his high-tech technology and all the secrets of his eyes. So old school Nick Fury joins Cap and all this cool team here to try to solve the mystery. But there's also this other kind of renegade team. So there's two teams solving the mystery. The other one, it's like, you know, there's some really cool energy between like Doctor Strange and the Punisher and Emma Frost and Ant-Man. So it's the best of Marvel and the baddest all teaming up to find out what happened. And of course this is going to spill over shockingly into a lot of tie-in series because everybody's got Original Sin and all the secrets are coming out. So Original Sin 1 by Jason Aaron this week. All eyes are on it. Watch out for your eyeballs popping out in your local this comic book store. Look at this. This is awesome. This is Black Widow, the latest issue by Film Noto. Some of the coolest covers. If you love Captain America Winter Soldier and you love Scarlett Johansson, you know, you would love the Black Widow series. I'm really digging it. These are some of her adventures when she's not with the Avengers. She's on her own solo missions, trying to make up for her past as an assassin, and she's encountered some really new characters. This character called the Hand of God, who's this weird Russian monk terrorist, and she's behind bars. She's working with Maria Hill of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm really enjoying this book. If you're a Black Widow fan, you're going to love the series. Speaking of webs and spidery, it's Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 is out this week. You know, in the aftermath of Cataclysm, what's cool about the Ultimate Universe with Marvel is when people die, they stay dead in that universe. In that one anyway, for now. But they keep reviving it. This was kind of, you know, the Ultimate line was like a new 21st century kind of take on Marvel heroes. And Miles Morales is an awesome hero, and he paid a pretty big price and when their team of heroes defeated Galactus, and so this is a new step for him, and he's going to be fighting up against a main villain from the late great Peter Parker of the Ultimate Universe. Beautiful art by David Marquez, Brian Michael Bendis. Here you go. Miles is back this week in a new #1 issue. Here's the thing I love about X-Men right now. If you like cool, badass, crazy terrorist Cyclops, which I do, Cyc was right, you got that over in Uncanny X-Men. But they're also, Brian Bendis, it's like a real love letter. He gave us all the Cyclops. The original Cyclops who came back with the all-new X-Men from the past, he left the team in the aftermath of the trial of Jean Grey. And so this is a great, awesome space adventure with Corsair and the Starjammers, and it just looks really fun and cool. It's Greg Rucka. It's a new artist called Russell Dauterman, who, I don't know where you come from, but you are pretty awesome. And I love, you know, it's Hepzibah, it's all the weird Starjammer aliens. It's really cool. And then this is a super X-Men week. So this is the first, believe it or not, the first X-Men graphic novel since Days of Future Past, way back then. Mike Carey, who I loved his X-Men run, he wrote Rogue better than anybody else. Salvador Larroca, who's had several runs of X-Men as an artist. So this is a graphic novel in which the X-Men, this is right after the aftermath of Battle of the Atom. So they wake up and it's like, there's no more humans. Where's the Avengers? Where's the Fantastic Four? Where is everybody? How will they solve this mystery? Should they even solve it? And it'll tie in a really breakout character from Battle of the Atom, if you remember, Reyes, who was the crazy son of Wolverine and Mystique. So it looks beautiful. I love Mike Carey. This is a really cool graphic novel. So to get your X-Men fix in a big hardcover this week. Back to you guys.
If only you've seen what I've seen with my eyes. Yes, eyes. Oh God, those things smell. All right, enough with that.
Whatever reference that was, it went right over my head. But since we're on the topic of secrets, how about a little secret chapter from the history of Peter Parker? No, this isn't Untold Tales of Spider-Man, unfortunately.
Oh, that was amazing.
I wish they would revive that series. Sort of in the same vein, actually, here. This is Amazing Spider-Man 1.1. This is the first part of Learning to Crawl, which is the series of, I believe, 5 issues by Dan Slott and Ramon Perez, sandwiched between Amazing Spider-Man numbers 1 and 2. This covers the earliest chapters of Spider-Man's life after Amazing Fantasy number 15. Featuring a new villain, rather sort of a dark take on Peter Parker, even though, you know, we already had that in the Prowler. This is Clash. Another teenage character who builds his own weapons and goes out and puts on a mask, but this time, you know, he's robbing banks and convenience stores and things rather than going and wrestling Randy Savage for money.
What any normal person would do if they got spider powers, I'd immediately be robbing people.
The art on this book is obscenely beautiful, though. Ramon Perez is channeling that 60s vibe. Everybody's got Steve Ditko fedoras, and Spidey is looking especially squinty.
Yes,
Loving
squinty. From Boom Studios this week, we have the second issue of the highly acclaimed book Dead Letters from Christopher Sabella and Chris Visions. Last issue. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what happened in the last issue because that was kind of a spoiler, and if you haven't gotten to it, it kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a big thing.
It's a bit of a big thing, but yeah, no, this art is friggin' amazing. The first issue was really cool, and while it was some setup, this kind of kicks it into gear. Chris Visions is man, I mean, it's really moody.
Seriously,
it's really nice
stuff here.
Yeah, this is definitely. Ooh, that is funky. Yeah, no, this is a really funky crime book. Boom is stepping it up on the crime angle. You know, this is definitely a contender for a TV series or a movie or something.
Oh yeah, it's coming to FX next fall.
Right.
Watch.
So get it now. You heard it here first before it becomes a big thing.
Alright, now speaking of big things, I believe Anna has a thing or two to tell us about. Maybe one of them is big, and I'm not going to spoil it. The word big is involved a lot, and followed by another word that I like a lot, but
Starts with
again, gonna let her handle that.
We're going to start off with everyone's favorite little adult, Charles Schultz, the complete Peanuts collection from 91 to 92. This is 40 years after the beginning of Charles drawing the Peanuts, and it's still as poignant and disparaging for young little characters as it always has been. Next up, Sugar Booger by Kevin Scalzo. It's for anyone who likes Adventure Time, anyone who likes that weird, droopy, acidic comics look, but still want to be transported into a world of candy and weird monsters, Sugar Booger #2 is for you. Next up, we have a new #1 from Boom Studios. James Tyrion IV brings us his first creator-owned series, where an entire high school, 400 plus kids, their teachers, their counselors, all get transported to a weird alien planet that is similar to Earth, but is full of monsters. They're literally in the woods, figuratively and emotionally, as they try to figure out the next steps in life, their next steps in how to get away from this creepy monster planet. They battle their own demons, battle real demons, and life doesn't exactly get easier for these teenagers. If you're looking for a good book for teens and up, The Big Feminist Butt, the second of this series that was kickstarted online, is a good collection of feminist cartoons from men, women, anyone in between that answer all the questions you might have been wondering about feminism, and probably giving you some questions that you didn't know in the first place. Got stuff from Gabrielle Bell, Uli Lust, Jeffrey Brown, Ron Reggae Jr., Shannon Garrity. There's a lot of great cartoonists in this book, and you should definitely pick it up. Speaking of butts, for our mature readers, we have Howard Chaykin Butts, drawn by Howard Chaykin, written by Matt Fraction. Sex, Death, Live TV. The son of the actor who played Satellite Sam is trying to find out who killed his dad. And everyone in this series has got a little bit of daddy issues. But also from Howard Chaykin this week, a special mini-series, if you got some extra bones to throw down for this Tijuana Bibles riff that he does. If you don't know what Tijuana Bibles are, ask your parents. If your parents don't know what Tijuana Bibles are, ask your grandparents. If your grandparents know what Tijuana Bibles are, be a little scared of the answer that they gave you. That's all the books I got for this week. Back to you guys.
And thank you, Anna. And yes, she's very correct. Be careful who you ask about the Tijuana Bible.
Yeah.
Story or two may come with it. You know, a lot of old people love to tell stories. There's some stories you just don't want to hear. So be careful. I'm just gonna knock your book down there. The other big DC, or big book from this week comes from DC, and this is the beginning of their second weekly series. To go with the Batman Eternal, this is the New 52, Future's End, which takes place 5 years in the future. Batman Beyond is sent to, what was he in last, that he got sent to he was sent back in time, and he was sent back to this time, but screwed up, and he was sent 5 years in the future. So now he's kind of stuck. His mission has changed. He's now just trying to survive. He's accompanied by Alfred, his very cool and not very funny computer
Awesome
program
AI
thing.
Alfred. Oh, come on, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he is pretty funny. But yes, it starts with all sorts of cool cyber action, goes to some authority, or well, I guess they're called Stormwatch now.
Hawkman and the fish lady from Frankenstein.
Yeah, and some serious grifter action going on in here.
It's going to be handling a lot of awesome DC New 52 characters whose own books were cancelled in the various waves of cancellations.
Yeah.
Huge OMAC plot going on in here. Brother Eye basically turning all the superheroes in the future into horrible flesh monster robot things.
You mean like an Infinite Crisis? So, this is written by Brian Azzarello, with breakdowns by Keith Giffen, who did the breakdowns for the previous weekly series of 52 and Countdown. The art in here is Patrick Zurcher, followed by Dan Jurgens, and Jeff Lemire throws in his 2 cents as well. So, yeah, you know, this is, if, you know, just a Batman weekly is just too much Batman, well, this one you got Batman and other flavors. So.
And an awesome book from Marvel here. We have the 4th issue of the new She-Hulk series by Charles Soule and Javier Pulido. I'm going to say one thing about this. Giant castle-sized Doombot.
That's it.
Okay, not to mention the amazing neon artwork and the almost Hernandez brothers influenced inks. There's really no reason you shouldn't be reading this. If you like fun superhero books, like if you love Daredevil by Mark Waid, fun fact, Daredevil actually guest stars in this issue, go buy it.
Yeah. And on the other side of the tracks, we have oh, whoops, sorry. This horrible Harley-Davidson comic has disturbed me, and you'll have to look at it for like the next 6 months. Oh, God. Alright, anyway, Iron Fist. Revenge is a weapon that cuts both ways. This is number 2 by Carr Kyle Andrews. In the back of the first issue, he wrote, "Become the machine. Do everything yourself. Make it everything just you, and do it wrong because it's okay, because it's real and it's fun, it's creative." And that's what you have here. Not to mention punching of giant mystical dragons.
Everything in this book is huge. The
Yes.
Thunderer is huge.
He is
Danny
ginormous.
is huge.
Dude, the
dragons are huge.
Yes, oh my God, he got really big. When did he get so thick? But yeah, from last issue, there was a crapload of ninjas. This issue brings you ninjas, helicopters, dragons,
More of Danny's tragic origin.
Yeah,
This is elevators.
This is
Elevator
amazing,
shafts.
amazing book. If you need some kung fu action in your life, Iron Fist.
And speaking of kung fu, our last book here, which funny enough just happens to be the cover of the week. Wow. I don't know what that means, but it's horrifying.
Bye-bye, Apple.
I feel like it's like a magic 8-ball or something. It lands on the wrong side, I'm gonna die.
Right? And then just shoot you with this cosmic laser.
Anyways, cover of the week and awesome kung fu action here in Black Dynamite number 2. Yes, this is a Tom Scioli cover. Tom Scioli of Godland and Transformers G.I. Joe, which if you missed the Free Comic Book Day issue...
Failure!
What were you doing with your life?
Probably bought that raccoon thing.
This cover poses the question of, is there funk after death?
We would think so. We would hope so. And also the Forever people show up.
Yeah, you're probably not going to find out in this comic, though.
No, probably not, no.
As is the golden rule with comics, nothing on the cover happens inside the book. But it's awesome, nonetheless.
That's right. And so, we bid you farewell and leave you.
I'm afraid to touch that thing again, honestly. Oh, God.
Thank you
Don't
for
hurt me.
watching. Thank you for watching. Do, 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 do.